Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third episode of KF1 to ScrN review. No introduction today, just straight into the action, and we'll be talking about Commando. And to be honest, Commando is the only perk that I enjoy more in Killing Floor 2 in comparison with Killing Floor 1, even with a ScrN version. Still, I think KF2 Commando is better. And let's find out why. Commando was the first perk that I played in KF2. I'm playing Killing Floor 2 since very beginning, starting from the closed beta. Before the release, there was early access, but before early access there was public beta, and before that closed beta. Doing betas during the early access is yet another weird thing of Tripiwire's so-called early access done right. But for now, let's not talk about early access, let's talk about the game, KF2. At the very beginning, the game felt and played great. I received my beta key at Wednesday evening, and I was so impressed with the game that I took 2 days off and played 4 days in a row almost non-stop. Even then, KF2 was completely different game comparing to KF1, but it was amazing. It felt like AAA game, or to be precise, a small portion or sneak peek of AAA game. The amount of content was very small. There were only 4 perks, actually 3 perks because Berserker was broken, so that's Commander, Support Specialist and Field Medic, and only 3 maps at the beginning. Burning Paris, Biotic Slabs and Outpost. But the quality of content was superior. Maps were beautiful, especially Burning Paris, highly detailed. Z and weapon animation were motion captured, so Tripwire rented a motion capture studio and hired professional artists to do Z animations and professional soldiers to perform weapon reloading and shooting. Unlike KF1, where Commander reload speed bonus was achieved simply by increasing animation speed, KF2 featured completely different animation for tactical reload, which was more efficient comparing to the standard one. Those tiny details brought the immersion level in Killing Floor 2 to a completely different level. Killing Floor 2 Early Access started featuring AA grade but very limited amount of content. Unfortunately, then it went horribly wrong. It is hard to tell what exactly went wrong and when. People name different things like slow development during the early access, prematurely adding microtransactions, EDARs, DLC weapons and so on. In my opinion, there is no single point before which the game was great and after that turned into disaster. It's a continuous process. And reason for that is because Tripwire set the quality bar so high so they couldn't keep up with that even themselves. It felt like they are modding their own game. Pathetic design decision, lazy implementation, weapon reskins, etc. For more than 5 years, the Tripwire were adding low-quality content to a AAA prototype. And the more content they add, the lower percentage of high-quality content persists in the game. So eventually the game became worse and worse. Now KF2 reminds me of those KF1 modded servers, where server admin just download every piece of content he could find on the internet and put it on one server, which doesn't make any sense. So actually the core KF2 game became something similar to that server. There's a lot of content that doesn't fit together, doesn't play well, doesn't make sense, and it turns into absolute mess. It might sound silly, but I think the only way to make KF2 better is not to add more content, but in opposite, remove the content. And there are mods for that, like control difficulty, for example, that allows removing EDARs. Added DLCs that would allow to hide stupid cosmetics, replace event Zs with standard ones, or remove Firebug. I think those could be appreciated by the community. let's get back to KF1. I think the biggest downside in KF1 Commando is not the perk itself, but wonky hitboxes. So it's hard to do continuous headshots to the Zs just because of bad headshot detection system. First, it's server-side hitbox detections, and second, even on local computer, the hitbox detection is kinda weird in KF1. And that's where KF2 shines. When you learn how to manage recoil, you can do continuous headshots with assault rifles. And that's especially useful when taking down big enemies such as ScrN. Remember, in the very beginning of early access there was no heavy hitter perks like Sharpshooter, Demolition or Gunslinger, so the main ScrN killer perk was Commando, and the technique how to kill 6-player Hello North ScrN was by two commandos shooting continue to ScrN head until decapitation. Actually, the similar technique is available in KF1 as well. I'll put a link to a video on Commando-only challenge in KF1 Hello North. The second issue is automatic and non-skippable reloads. When a reload animation starts, you cannot skip it. Despite the Zs around you hitting you, you still have to watch the reload animation till the end, until you are able to fire or switch to another weapon. On top of that, there's a forced automatic reload system in vanilla KF1. When the magazine is empty and you dry fire, it automatically starts the reload process and you cannot skip it. It is especially painful for Commando when you're shooting in short bursts, so you continuously click the fire trigger until you run out of magazine ammo. And then your weapon starts automatically reload despite you don't want it. In most cases, if there's Zs around, you wish to switch to another weapon and continue shooting, instead of getting hit or killed while watching the reload animation. ScrN balance introduce manual reload feature, so when you're out of magazine ammo, you're clicking the fire trigger, you hear dry fire sound and you know that you need to reload, so you need to press R, but the weapon does not reload automatically. So that gives you an option to switch to other weapon instead of doing reload. Unfortunately, the same as vanilla KF1, when reload process started, it cannot be skipped. Killing Floor 2 went into another direction. It features reload skip, so you can switch to other weapon and do melee bash to interrupt the reload, but it still forces automatic reload, but it's not that painful compared to vanilla KF1. Unfortunately, in KF2 the reload interruption is implemented in the most lazy and pathetic way. If the reload got interrupted, it needs to be restarted from the very beginning, no matter of reload phase. Especially painful is so-called last frame reload cancelling issue. You see, the new magazine has been inserted into your gun, you switch to another weapon, switch back, and the reload restarts. And the reason for that despite you visually see the new magazine has been inserted into your gun, the ammo counter wasn't updated yet. And if ammo counter is not updated, nothing else matters and the entire reload process needs to be restarted. I have reported this issue directly to Yoshiro, community manager of Tripwire Interactive, back in April 2015 during the closed beta. 5 years passed and its issue still hasn't been fixed, as long as many other issues reported back then, like teleporting Zs. The reloading issue has been completely fixed in the Nice Pack. It's the add-on for ScrN balance. The Nice Pack features segmented reload. So the reload process split into segments, like ejecting the old magazine, inserting a new magazine and chambering. When you interrupt the reload and then get back to the weapon, you have to redo the last unfinished segment, instead of doing the entire process. For instance, Nice Packs allows you to do stuff like that. You eject the magazine, switch to 9mm pistol, kill Z, switch back to gun, insert a new magazine, switch to knife, cut the throat of Z, switch back to gun, chamber around and start shooting. Unfortunately, Nice Pack has been discontinued, but if you will find the archived version, definitely give it a try. The nice pack is a proper example of a reload process done right. Now let's talk about a ScrN modification to Commando perk and weapon. M4203 made cross-perk weapon, so primary fire benefits from Commando bonuses while secondary from demolitions. Given the modified weapon stats plus KF1 ability for explosion to detonate hand grenades, makes M4203 a good tier 2 choice for both Commando and demolition. In vanilla KF1, M4203 is demolition only weapon and it's next to useless. The ScrN version features a 3-round fixed burst mode, slightly increased damage that allow in demolition to one-shot decapitate small Zeds or killing a Hell on Earth crawler with a single burst into the body. Unlike many arcade shooters including KF2, where burst mode means it always shoots the 3 rounds, ScrN allows fine control in the fire trigger. If the player manages to release the fire trigger quickly enough, it is possible to shoot only 1 or 2 bullets instead of the whole burst, so you can save ammo this way. I never use burst mode in KF2 simply because I don't want to spend 3 bullets when I need only 1. Some KF2 players exploit AK-12 burst mode to achieve higher fire rate, because the burst is shot at about 1000 RPM while the regular full auto mode allows shooting at about 600. And that's a bullcrap. First, AK-12 never featured 3-round burst mode. It is a lie taken from English version of Wikipedia telling that AK-200 prototype featured such mode. It never did. AK-200, same as AK-4000 prototypes, same as all other prototypes all of AK-12, featured only 2-round burst mode. Those 2 burst modes are completely different and serve totally different purposes. 3-round burst mode is designed to save ammunition. It has gained popularity during the Vietnam War inside M16 assault rifle. You see, with M16 it takes less than 3 seconds to empty 30-round magazine in full auto mode. So during a combat, if a soldier panics or just holds the fire trigger for a little bit too long, the entire magazine gets dry, almost instantly. A soldier can be killed while holding the fire trigger, so he empties the magazine while falling on the ground and covering in fire or his squad mates. 3-round fixed burst mode solves the previously mentioned issues while still providing a reasonably high fire rate. 2-round burst mode is totally different. Specially designed feeding mechanism allowed to fire second bullet in rapid succession so quickly before the recoil momentum gains speed. Simply said, it allows firing the second bullets before the recoil applies, shooting 2 rounds at the exact same point and therefore doing double damage. Also need to mention that increased fire rate is only before the first and second bullets. AK-12,000 RPM only means the time interval between first and second shots are about 60 milliseconds. It doesn't mean that you will able to fire 1000 rounds in a minute, neither 16 rounds in a second. A cooldown between bursts are much longer and therefore burst mode is actually slower than full auto mode, no matter how precisely you can handle a fire trigger. Killflow 2 doesn't take that into account and allows firing with AK-12 at 1000 RPM in a burst mode. You may say, whatever, KF2 is just an arcade shooter, who cares about that? It's unrealistic, so what? Well, I'd agree with you if the game was created by game developers who never saw a gun in real life. But that's not the case of Tripwire Interactive, a studio which created authentic World War shooter Red Orchestra. Tripwire knows everything about guns. Unfortunately, in case of Killing Floor, they just don't care. Cosmetics, microtransactions, loot boxes, DLCs, that's what matters for Tripwire. Stuff like game balance or attention to details, it's secondary. One more thing regarding 2-bullet burst mode. Originally it's invented in AN-94, or Nikonov's assault rifle, or in Russian Автомат Nikonova. There is no such gun in Killing Floor, but you can check it out, for instance, in Stalker games. ScrN balance introduces 2-round fixed burst mode inside FNFAL. It's unrealistic, FNFAL never featured such mode, but due to lack of original guns, it's a fair compromise to introduce players with such unique fire mode, and also make diversity between FNFAL and ScrN. Last but not least, a ScrN feature for Commando: Tactical Reload. In KF2, Tactical Reload is a perk skill, so at a certain perk level you can pick up the Tactical Reload, which in turn switches to fancy and efficient reload animations. It's one of KF2 features that done really well. Tactical Reload animations look cool, at least for initial Commando weaponry that featured motion capture. In ScrN balance there are no perk skills, however there is a player skill that activates a tactical reload on the weapon. To activate the tactical reload, you have to reload the gun while there is still bullet inside the chamber. Simply put, you have to reload while the gun is not empty. There are three main reload phases: eject the old magazine, insert a new one, and load a bullet into the chamber. However, if there is already a bullet inside the chamber, you don't have to load the new one. That eliminates the third reload phase, so the tactical reload is shorter because you need only to replace the magazine. Also, it gives you one extra bullet, the one inside the chamber. For those who complained about so-called +1 ammo bug in ScrN, it's not the bug, it's the feature. And this time it's really a feature. That's how real weapons work. For example, ScrN has 20 rounds in the magazine, with Commando bonus it's 25. You insert a new magazine into an empty weapon and load a round from the magazine into the chamber. You have 24 rounds in the magazine and one inside the chamber, 25 in total. Now, if you eject the magazine and insert the full one, you will have 25 rounds in the magazine plus 1 inside the chamber, 26 in total. That's where +1 bullet comes from. You may say, wait, but how about Tommy gun or bullpup? They do not get +1 ammo. Is that a bug? Nope, it's yet another feature. You see, while the majority of weapons are closed bolt rifles, the Tommy gun is an open bolt weapon. You can search the internet for details, but in short, the closed bolt design means that you have to put a round into the chamber before firing, but the open bolt weapon chambers the round during the fire process. Since there is no round inside the chamber during the reload, you don't get a +1 bonus for open bolt weapons. And bullpup is yet another different firearm type, having a magazine and the gun's action behind the trigger. Wrapping up the subject, the tactical reload of closed bolt weapon provides faster reload and +1 ammo. Open bolt has a faster tactical reload but no +1 ammo, and bullpup doesn't have a tactical reload at all, but its regular reload is fast enough already. Okay, I think it's enough lectures for today, so from now on I will shut up and let you enjoy the rest of the video.
back, boys, so make the most of it.
Okay. For the boss, we'll take Val. It is a custom weapon, modification of VSS Vintorez into assault rifle.
I'll show you all.